know, there's a thought that's been nagging at me for the last hour. And now I finally got it. We're lost.
But we've been going west. It's the way back to our camp.
We really have no way of knowing which direction we've traveled.
If we have lost our way, it's bad, Merriman. There are stories of people getting lost in this morass and never getting out of it.
Yes, I've heard them.
What'll we do?
Well, we have several choices. We can keep on walking and get more lost, or we can step into the quicksand and finish up quickly, if a bit untidily. Or we can stay here and starve to death.
We'll find time to be funny.
I don't really feel humorous, my friend, but I don't know that panic is going to get us anything. If there's a living soul within 20 miles of here, I'll eat my hat.
I doubt if you'll find much nutrition in that, sir. I think we can do better for you than a meal of canvas and straw. I suppose you're lost.
Yes, I'm afraid we are.
Just what was your purpose in entering the swamp, may I ask?
We're looking, or rather my friend here was, for an alleged island in the center of this swamp.
Possibly this is it, right over here. Is this what you're looking for?
Why, I understood the swamp was uninhabited. It is impossible to exist in it.
Oh, you must be mistaken. Everybody knows of our little settlement. It's a very ordinary commercial enterprise, really.
Just what are you manufacturing?
A commodity the whole world is crying for. Captain Vandenberg, he's the head of our settlement, will explain to you in detail. If you'll follow me and be careful to step where I do. Captain Vandenberg, here are two gentlemen that were lost, and they stumbled on our camp.
Oh, really? I'm Dr. Ernest Larrabee. This is my colleague, Dr. Herbert Merriman.
How are you, Captain? You'll probably want to see some credentials.
Ah, you're a geologist for the United Oil Company operating on the island, huh? Well, it's not often that we're honored with the presence of men of science here. But I doubt if you'll find any oil in this vicinity.
We weren't looking for it here. My colleague here is, well, he chases rainbows.
I beg your pardon?
For the pots of gold that are to be found at the ends of them.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Dr. Merriman is a humorist. I found an old map of the swamp together with a history of it, compiled by the Franciscan fathers. And I was interested in finding out how accurate it was.
Oh, I see. Well, that's very interesting. Well, we'd like to have you as our guest for tonight. And I assure you that we'll make you as comfortable as possible. And we'll see that you're safely home in the morning. Nobody in that cabin on the edge of the lagoon, is there, Hartshorn?
No, Captain.
Well, perhaps you'd like to clean up and rest before dinner. I'll see that you're called.
Thank you, Captain.
You are kindness itself.
Made our guests comfortable?
They have everything they need at this time. This is the last of these.
Entirely too many of them around recently.
Hello, Felix.
Hello, Dr. Martel.
Hey, what's all that about?
That fellow Smith, the private detective United Oil is sending us. The governor says yes, the commissioner says no.
Rather violent, eh?
They've been at it for almost an hour now. The governor is perfectly right. The police haven't been able to do a thing. If we had offered help, I say we should take it.
Well, you can't blame Lane, however. It definitely gives his department a black eye.
Yes, sir?
Mr. Smith here yet? Any word of it?
Nothing, sir. Oh, Lieutenant Hall just got here.
We'll send him in.
Go right on in. Find him?
No, maybe he's victim number 9.
Yes? The boat docked this morning, and we know Smith was on it. But where he's been since is anybody's guess.
Is that how you train your lieutenants, Colonel Lane? To guess? It seems to me they should be taught a more definite approach to the science of detection.
It's not our job to find this fellow Smith for you. We have no interest in United Oil's private investigators.
It's your job to find 8 people that are missing. You haven't done anything about that either. Doesn't United know where he is?
He phoned them this morning, but he hasn't been there.
Well, the hotel.
He checked in, went out again.
He was due here an hour ago. Is this another mystery?
The principal mystery is why I have to put up with a private dick when I have a police department quite capable of functioning on its own.
8 people in 6 months. The end of the swamp, and that's the last that's heard of them. Our police department sits on its record and says maybe they'll turn up again or maybe they won't. Anyway, it's no mystery, the department says.
Nor is it. That swamp is full of quicksands and reptiles. What happened to them is unpleasant but obvious.
Then why didn't you find their remains?
What remains when a quicksand sucks you in or an alligator has you for lunch?
Well, pants buttons anyway, if alligators did the job. Look, Lane, let's be sensible. United Oil's hired a man in the States with a great reputation, this fella Smith. Now, we can help him and perhaps get somewhere. Or refuse and have United complain to Washington we're uncooperative.
The only way I'll help is by resigning.
That's melodramatic and foolish. You fumbled a job. Be big enough to admit it. It isn't going to hurt your record any if these mysteries are solved, whoever solves them.
But they're not mysteries. There's nothing mysterious about them. Those people were...
Yeah, I know. Alligator bait. I don't believe it. Yes?
Mr. Smith is here, sir.
Good. Send him in. Come in yourself.
Dr. Marcel is here, too, sir.
All right, all of you. Now, for heaven's sake, be nice to him. This is an important man, and I'll bet you he solves the puzzle for us.
This way, Mr. Smith.
After you, Doc. Makes me nervous to have anybody walk behind me. That dates back to the time I was a cop in a very tough section of Canarsie. If you let those fellows get behind you with soft music and pretty flowers, neither of which you could enjoy. How are you, gentlemen?
How do you do, Mr. Smith?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. Except I got a little muddy walking in your park.
Our park?
Oh, a very muddy place. Why don't you fellas keep it up like we do Prospect Park?
Where's Prospect Park?
In Brooklyn, where I come from. Haven't any of you fellas ever been to Brooklyn?
No.
Well, you ought to go there sometime. It's a garden spot of the world. Founded on one end by Coney Island and the other by Cypress Hill Cemetery. You've heard that old expression, haven't you? See Brooklyn and die?
And get buried in Cypress Hill Cemetery, I suppose?
Or in Greenwood. We have plenty of choice in Brooklyn. I guess you're Colonel Lane, the head copper around here.
Well, as you put it, the head copper here. And this is Lieutenant Hall, the assistant head copper.
Well, I'm glad to know you, Lieutenant. And you too, Governor. I've already met these other fellas. Shall we talk business?
I'm still puzzled about the park you took a walk in. We have no park here.
Sure you have, right on the edge of town.
What on earth is he talking about?
I think he means the Henry Morgan swamp.
You went for a walk in the swamp?
Well, you wouldn't call it walking exactly. Wading is more like it. In one spot, I sank in the mud up to my knees and had a heck of a time getting out.
Good heavens, man, you might have lost your life. That's quicksand.
Well, what do you know? You fellas ought to build a railing around a spot like that. It's dangerous.
Well, possibly if we'd had the railing you mentioned, Mr. Smith, 8 people might be alive today, eh, Governor?
I assume you're joking, Colonel. The entire swamp's one great quicksand.
Is that what got those missing people? The mud?
Or alligators, or other forms of reptilian life that inhabit the swamp?
Then it's no mystery at all. Well. Maybe it's just as well it doesn't amount to anything. These swamps and those alligators, they baffle me. In Flatbush, the only wildlife we have are wolves. Those alligators are pretty tough, huh?
Well, they can be very dangerous. They've been known to take a man's leg off with one bite.
Before or after they shoot you?
Well, that's a 30-30 cartridge shell. Where'd you get it?
I got it in my hat.
Did someone shoot at you in the swamp?
That they did, Colonel.
What'd you do?
I finished my walk on a run.
Do you know who shot at you?
No? but I know who didn't shoot at me.
Well, who?
An alligator. Although I wouldn't argue with you if you called it a snake. Colonel, this might not be as simple as you think it is. Maybe those 8 people aren't lost in the swamp or bumped off by a mob of pistol-packing alligators.
I don't think your sarcasm is necessary, Mr. Smith. We've done a lot of investigating, and nothing points to these people having been shot.
Well, I've been having a little investigating done myself.
You? By whom?
My assistant, Carol Gates, he's been here since the last boat. I had a little talk with him this morning.
And what did he report?
He said there's a lot of leaks coming from right here in the administration building.
Impossible. Unless you're insinuating that one of us is involved.
Could be accidental, couldn't it? Like right now, I notice that key is open. Anyone on the other end could get a load of what's happening right here.
Well, that leads to your office, Lane.
Well, what if it does? There's no one there.
No, you keep away from me, I tell you. You come any closer, I'll scream. Ah!
But that's Linda's voice.
Good heavens, what's happening to her?
I don't like paymaster, Gerald. Merely because you've just come back, there's no reason for...
Oh, dear.
For heaven's sake, Linda, I thought you were being murdered.
Gerald, behave yourself.
Gosh, a guy comes back after 6 months away and his woman treats him as if he were a leper. Is that fair?
Tell your son, Governor, that I'm not his woman. They're ever likely to be if he plays this role.
They're safer when they're rough, lady. The mildest man I ever met murdered 3 wives. One of his own and 2 belonging to his best friend. Hiya, kid.
Hello, Smith. Glad to see you again.
You two know each other.
Well, sure. We were on the same boat coming here.
Yeah, and your son's a whiz at games, too, Governor. He beat me all hollow at shuffleboard and darts. He's good at darts. You got a great pitching arm, kid. The Dodgers could use a guy like you. Oh, there's one thing I'm really leery of. A shiv.
A shiv?
Yeah, that's Brooklyn for knife. They give me the creeps. Guns I can take, but shivs, that's knives.
Hey, which happens to remind me. I have an operation to perform at the hospital, and I'm due there now. You people will excuse me. Goodbye, Linda.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Hope I see you again, Smith.
Well, I guess I'll mosey along, too, Governor.
But don't you want to discuss this case further, Mr. Smith?
Case? Oh, the Colonel has that all solved. They all fell in the mud and were drowned. Or got shot by the animals.
I dislike your attitude very much, Mr. Smith. I see no necessity for your irony nor pointing it at me.
Irony? That's a new one on me. You'll have to talk plainer, Colonel, if you want me to understand. Remember, I'm just a flatfoot from Flatbush. Well, pleased to have met you all. I think I'll go over to the hotel and see Gates.
A strange character.
A lout from Brooklyn.
He's a pretty smart guy, if you ask me.
Oh, nonsense. He's an ex-policeman turned private investigator, retaining all the characteristics of his original job.
What's that he called himself? A flatfoot from Flatbush.
Good day, sir.
I've forgotten what room Mr. Gates is in.
Oh, just a minute. Room 114, sir.
There's something wrong on 114, Renee. The receiver was taken off the hook. I heard a groan, but I can't get an answer.
Send a doctor to room 114 right away. Just a moment, Mr. Smith. I have a bad key. Is he dead?
Well, when a guy gets shot through the heart, it usually stops. And when it stops, he's dead. I learned that in Brooklyn High.
He was a friend of yours?
Yeah. He was a friend of mine.
Something has happened?
Yes, please come in, doctor.
How'd the operation go, Doc?
Very successfully, Mr. Smith. Nothing of great importance.
Oh. Just a little old appendix or something like that, huh? Does this balcony run the entire length of the hotel?
Yes, it does, sir.
Could you tell what kind of a gun did?
Not until we probe for the bullet.
Couldn't tell if it was a 30-30, maybe.
No, at this point, I'm afraid. You seem to be fascinated by that particular caliber bullet, Mr. Smith.
Yeah. Seems like all the alligators around here are packing that kind of a rod.
I'm also the coroner of the island. I'll make the necessary arrangements.
Okay, I'll get in touch with you later. Maybe you better have this room sealed up.
Of course.
Anybody hear a shot from this room?
No, I'm Mrs. Marcel. The doctor and I live in the adjoining room. We heard nothing, but it may be because I had the radio on quite loudly.
Oh, kind of nice timing, wasn't it? Who's in the room next door, 112?
It is unoccupied, sir.
I'd like to see it.
I have a pass key. I'll show it to you.
Oh, Mrs. Gilbert is the hostess of the hotel. Mr. Smith is a friend of Mr. Gates.
How many rooms open off that balcony?
24.
Only 24? That narrows things down a lot, doesn't it? Have my stuff sent in here.
Yes, sir.
Oh, finished, Doctor?
Oh, I gave orders to have the body removed. I'll make my report to you later.
You going to the hospital now?
No, not immediately. I have some business at the administration building.
Give me Colonel Lane's office in the administration building, please.
Hello? Yes, Mr. Smith. Gates! Shot!
Yes, Colonel. It looks like these alligators play for keeps. In that case, I'm going to play the same way.
I'll send someone up there immediately. Smith's assistant, Gates, has been murdered.
Great Scott. Does he know who did it?
Not yet. Hall, you get out of the hotel. Smith will wait for you there.
Yes, sir.
Gates was shot so he couldn't pass any information on to Smith.
Possibly.
There's something behind all this, Lane. Gates couldn't have made any enemies in the short time he's on the island. This ties directly in with the disappearance of Larrabee and Merriman and the others.
I don't see that it necessarily does.
Two detectives are shot at, and one of them gets killed. What do you call that?
Could be a coincidence.
Nonsense. That's taking the long arm of coincidence and wrenching it right out of its socket. You'll give me a full report on the whole thing as soon as you have the facts, please.
All right.
Yes, Colonel?
Haven't we a dossier on Carol Gates? We usually get what information we can on new arrivals here.
I'll see what I can find, sir.
Oh, come in, Doctor.
You heard of Gates's murder, Colonel?
Yes, I had.
Well, it puts a different complexion on the entire business, doesn't it? I mean, Smith may have something when he hints the other disappearances were murders rather than accidents.
Perhaps. But it annoys me that an oaf like that should hit upon something that all of us have missed. I don't think I'll let him get away with it.
How do you mean?
Well, even if he's right, he still doesn't know who did it. I could find that out sooner than he does, couldn't I?
Is that quite fair to him?
Well, I don't view it as a matter of ethics. Smith and I are setting out towards the same goal. One of us will reach it sooner than the other, that's all. Why was he so interested in this antique dagger, do you think?
Well, he just said that knives gave him the creeps. That seemed to be all.
Wicked-looking thing, isn't it? It's supposed to have belonged to one of the pirate fellas that used to come to this island.
Do you believe those stories about pirate loot being buried somewhere around here?
Oh, I don't know, Doctor, but it's nothing to do with my job anyway, so I'm afraid I'm not interested.
This is your dope on Gates, Colonel. It isn't much. He was an employee of United Oil. We didn't know he was associated with Mr. Smith. I don't wonder Smith doesn't like knives, especially this one. You could do a lot of damage with a thing like that.
Yes, if you got close enough to the other fella to use it.
Oh, I don't know. I've heard of people being able to throw them quite some distance. Pretty accurately, too.
Oh, Colonel Lane. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were busy.
Well, that's quite all right, my boy. Anything I can do for you?
Well, sir, your daughter, who dislikes cavemen, nevertheless invited me for dinner tonight, and I thought maybe I'd drive out with you if you don't mind.
Why, of course. I'll be leaving here a little after 5.
Fine, I'll drop in then. That's a nasty little pig sticker, isn't it? Is it sharp?
Thinking of sharing with it before you go to Linda's dinner?
Could be done at that. I'd hate to have the guy who owned this get mad at me.
And I'd hate to have you mad at me, Gerald, if it were in your possession. Now, here's a boy who could throw it. You heard how good he was at darts.
Well, I'll stick to darts, I think. They're much less deadly.
Good heavens. I didn't know it was this late. I have an appointment in 3 minutes. I'll be back later and pick you up, Gerald.
Thank you, sir. Well, I think I'll see what Dad's doing.
I'd better be getting on to the hospital.
Did you find anything?
Nothing of importance. There's some letters, all of a personal nature. Nothing that'd help you in your investigation.
Well, Gates wouldn't leave anything important around for somebody to find. We didn't work that way.
Yes? Oh, just a minute, please. It's for you. A lady.
Hello?
Mrs. Smith,
Yes?
if you'll be in your room at midnight tonight, I think I can tell you something you'd like to know.
Well, who's this speaking? How will I know you?
I know you.
Miss, I'm Mr. Smith in 112. Do you remember a phone call came in to me this afternoon?
Yes, I remember a woman called you. It came just after you returned to the hotel.
Could you tell whether it came from inside or outside the hotel?
Oh, it came from inside the hotel.
Could you identify the voice?
No, I couldn't. But it was a familiar voice, a voice I've heard before. Perhaps that's why I can't fix it in my memory. The voice is so well known to me.
Well, if you do remember, let a guy know, huh?
Certainly, Mr. Smith.
Oh, hi, Doc.
Oh, good evening. Oh, Adelaide, may I present Mr. Smith? This is my wife.
Oh, we've met already. When Mr. Gates' body was discovered.
Yeah. Somebody just tried to do the same for me.
Do the same for you.
Somebody just threw a knife at me from the garden outside my room.
Oh, very dreadful.
Oh, it wasn't so bad. Whoever threw it was a bum shot. They missed me by all of 2 inches.
If I were you, I'd be more careful, Smith.
I should be, shouldn't I? But I have a feeling it was done by someone who knew I didn't like knives.
You mean someone who was in Colonel Lane's office this afternoon?
No, not necessarily. I didn't make a secret about disliking the things. But this looked to me like the same knife the Colonel has hanging on his wall.
Are you sure?
About it being the same one? No. But it could be its twin brother. Good night.
Oh, Mr. Smith, you scared me.
No kidding.
Oh, please pardon me for coming in like this, but I had to see you as soon as possible. I'm Mrs. Gilbert. You remember me from this afternoon.
Oh, sure. I remember. Say, didn't you phone me several hours ago?
Yes, I wanted to talk to you. May I sit down?
Sure, why not?
Poor Carol. His death was a terrible shock to me.
Oh, you knew Gates.
Why, yes, we became rather good friends in the time he was here.
Oh, that Gates. Talk about a sailor having a girl in every port. That kid played...
Well, it wasn't as serious as all that. But I did find out what he was after, and I was able to give him some leads.
How come?
He wanted to find out what caused the disappearance of all these people.
Yeah?
And I think he pretty well knew. At any rate, he didn't think it was quicksand or wild animals that did it.
Yeah, I know that, too. What did he think?
They were deliberately killed because...
Go on.
Oh, Mr. Smith, I can't tell you. I don't dare to. If it were known that I knew, my own life might be in danger. Just as yours is. As Carol's was.
You're trying to tell me that they were deliberately killed because somebody found out something they wanted kept hidden?
Yes.
Who wants it kept hidden? Did you tell anyone else you were coming to this room?
No one. You can trust no one.
That I am beginning to believe.
Mr. Smith, Carol didn't tell me who it was, but he did say it was somebody important. I think he meant somebody in the administration offices.
Oh, one of the big shots, huh?
I think so.
Well, the case against the alligators is getting thinner and thinner. Gates gave you something to give me, didn't he?
Why, yes. He said in case anything happened to him. Now, that's the map of the island and the swamp. I was with Carol when he drew it up. The island is in the center of a vast swamp. It's supposed to be trackless, full of quicksand, mud, and mangroves. No one is ever supposed to have penetrated its depths. Now, Carol was sure that the swamp was the answer to the disappearances. It had the reputation of once being a pirate's roost. Last week, he penetrated a short way into its interior.
So did I, up to my knees.
Well, Mr. Smith, I've told you all I know. Well, I almost forgot something. Carol gave me this as sort of a memento. He was very secretive about it. That's why I think it might have something to do with what's happened.
It's a doubloon. Pirate's gold, they call it. It was issued in the time of Philip V of Spain, about 1740, I think. It's worth about $8 of our money.
How do you know all this?
Oh, I read a book once. Did Gates tell you found this in the swamp?
He didn't say. Do you think it's true, then, that there is pirate's gold in the swamp?
Oh, I wouldn't know, lady. I suppose you want this back since Gates gave it to you. But I may need it again.
Any time at all. And I hope what I've told you has been of some help.
Oh, it has. Want me to show you to your room?
No, thanks. I don't think it's necessary. I'm just a few steps down the hall. Good night. Good night.
On the balcony, I heard a scream.
What were you doing on the balcony?
Checking Gates' room for fingerprints. Whoever did this must have come from the hallway.
They disappear, they get shot at, they get stabbed. And if we're to believe the police, it's just a coincidence.
Well, I'll admit these last two murders have changed my opinion.
There's a connection all right, and the police will work with that in mind.
Well, that's more like it. But it's not quite good enough. What results? And I think with Mr. Smith's help, we can get them.
Well, I've done nothing to hinder Mr. Smith's investigations.
You've given him no cooperation. But you're going to from now on.
I'm a trained law enforcement officer, and Mr. Smith is a private investigator, whatever that means. He is, let him make his own moves, and I'll make mine.
Here, Mr. Smith, I can understand you're getting a little excited when you come across something like this doubloon, but take my word for it, doesn't mean a thing any more than this one does.
Here's a twin to the governor's. I've carried mine since I was a boy. For luck, you know.
Can switch here someplace.
Well, this is Colonel Lane's room. It's in a worse mess than the rest of the house. Oh, another one, eh?
No, not exactly. This one has verdigris on it.
It has what?
Mold. That comes from being buried in the ground. I had an Uncle Timothy once. He was a grave digger in Greenwood Cemetery. Timothy Sonny Boy Smith, they call him. I worked for him one summer, and boy, did I learn the darndest things.
So we're back to buried treasure.
I'm ready to believe anything at this point.
Smith! There's a dead man out back.
Colonel Lane's houseboy is in the garage with a bullet in his head.
Good heavens.
I better take a look at him.
I wonder whatever possessed Colonel Lane to run away.
Well, I've been asking myself the same question.
Colonel Lane didn't run away.
I'm not a detective, but the evidence points to that, doesn't it, sir?
I've known men to kill their wives or even commit murder. But before they left the house, they turned out the lights. I've even known them to order the gas and water shut off. People get into funny little habits. And no matter what happens, they keep on doing them.
Then you don't think he went voluntarily?
No, I don't think Colonel Lane ran away. If he had, he'd have shut that thing off.
Where are you going?
I think I'll take another little walk in the park.
Well, I'm going with you.
I don't think you should.
If Linda's in that swamp, I'm going to find her.
Okay, kid. Imagine, two grown-up men like you and I playing pirates.
Hey, wait a minute. It's 3:30. Think we could have missed that island?
Well, we got to keep going south. As long as we can see the sun, we're okay.
Well, I hope your bumper directions is better than mine.
One will get you 5. That hole was made by a 30-30. It was a butterfly chaser.
The poor devil.
Hey, look at all the future suitcases.
Well, looks like this is the end of the line, unless we can go around it.
Well, being a detective isn't enough. I got to make a monkey out of myself, too. Well, this ain't the first time.
Those alligators are right underneath us now.
Have they got guns?
I don't think so.
Then we're okay.
Looks like somebody's ahead of us.
Those tracks are ours.
Huh?
Fine Boy Scout I turn out to be.
We must have been traveling in a circle.
Well, we gotta go south. And I got a hunch south is that way.
There's a lot of quicksand around here, but this seems all right.
Last call for breakfast.
Well, I don't like the idea of drinking swamp water, but I'm going to take a chance.
Maybe you won't have to. You know, I've been thinking about that guy that put that 30-30 slug in that butterfly chaser's head. And in my hat, too. He ought to know his way around here.
Yeah, even if we don't.
I figure we can't be very far from the island. Maybe we can make him show us the way. Now, just take it easy, kid. Relax. We toss him the ball. Let's see if he's going to run with it. Well, I thought you were never coming.
Drop that gun.
Why, sure, chum. Anything you say.
What are you doing in here? Don't you know this is private property?
Yeah, under lease to the United Oil Company, but you don't work for them.
Maybe you'd like to meet my boss.
Oh, sure. We'd love to meet your boss if he'd give us some breakfast.
Nothing he'd like any better than to give you guys a bellyful. Now get going. That way. Kind of surprised, aren't you?
That ain't the word for it.
I gotta go first, so follow me and don't get no fancy ideas. Here's a couple of guys I found, lost in the swamp.
Okay, Joe. Thanks. Captain Vandenberg, here's a couple of more strangers who have lost their way.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, my name is Smith, and this is Gerald McCracken.
The governor's son?
Yeah.
Really? Well, how did you two happen to get lost in the swamp?
We're looking for Colonel Lane and his daughter, Linda. Are they here?
What would lead you to believe they're here?
Well, we've looked every place else for them, including the local stock club.
Oh, I thought your face was familiar, Mr. Smith. Yes, it was night before last, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, as a matter of fact, Colonel Lane and Linda are guests of mine.
Well, where are they?
Well, you're an impatient young man, aren't you? Hartshorn, will you take these two gentlemen to Colonel Lane's bungalow?
Well, thank you, Captain.
Why not at all? And perhaps later we could all have breakfast together.
Well, that'll be fine.
What happened? Those two birds jumped Hartshorn.
It was Smith.
He plugged me with my own gun.
Couple of you men take Hartson inside. The rest of you come with me. We gotta get him. You sure they came this way?
They must have. No telling where they are in this swamp.
Well, anyway, they can't get off the island. Joe, you come along with me. The rest of you men keep looking around.
Well, now we know who committed the murders.
Do we?
Well, sure. Vandenbach.
Well, he could have taken care of some of them. But he didn't kill Mrs. Gilbert and Gates.
Well, he could have sneaked into town and done it.
I don't think so. But it won't hurt to ask him some questions.
Yeah. When, as, and if we get the chance.
Well, we have to wait till after dawn. Now, you stop worrying about Linda, kid. I got a hunch that Vandenbach was telling us the truth when he said Linda and the Colonel were his guests.
Well, I feel a lot better once I see for myself.
You'll feel a lot better when you get a little shut-eye. From now on, we're on a night shift.
With that McCracken kid loose, it won't be any time at all until his old man has every cop on this island beating the swamp. We got what we came for. Now it's time to go. How do you feel?
Not so good.
Well, just as soon as Joe and I get the last of the stuff loaded, I'll come back for you. I'll fix up a stretcher for you. You can ride out of here in style. I'll be back in a half an hour.
Did you hear what he said? They're gonna leave the island.
Huh. They got nothing on us.
Well, what about the Colonel and Linda?
Look, there's a cabin over there. That's the only place Linda and the Colonel could be. Now, you sneak over there and wait for me. But don't do anything until I get back. They may have a guard on them.
Archon ain't fit to travel. He's a pretty sick guy.
You mean you don't think we should move him?
No.
I don't either.
You want I should pull us out in the channel so as we can start the engine?
No, there's one chest left behind. We don't want to leave that. It might be an inducement for Hartson to get well.
I think you got something there, Captain.
house at 10 o'clock as planned?
Of course. We all met there, but when we couldn't get an answer, we broke in. The place was all torn up, and we found your houseboy dead in the garage.
It was terrible, Gerald. I was scared to death.
Was the governor and Smith with you?
And Smith and I were hiding out until dark, and then we came in here and we...
Oh, hiya, Colonel.
Smith, look, they're safe.
Yeah. I had an idea the Colonel would make out all right.
Smith, I'm glad to see you. I'm mighty glad to see you.
Well, it looks like you're going to cooperate with me after all, huh, Colonel?
Well, I made a mistake. I misjudged you. I apologize. What more can I say?
You might tell me why the captain let you run around loose. Did you see any guards?
Just because we're not locked up doesn't mean we aren't prisoners.
But now that we have a gun, we're in a position to make Vandenberg take us back.
You know, Colonel, you and I think an awful lot alike. That was my idea exactly.
I hope he makes one false move.
He's no good to us, dead.
But he's a murderer.
But there's somebody over him. Isn't there, Colonel?
Why, yes, I think there is. In fact, I'm sure of it.
I tell you what we better do. You and Linda go down to the boat and wait for Gerald and me.
Can't Gerald come with us?
Gerald's going to help me persuade the captain to take us back to the harbor. Blow out the lamp, kid. Colonel, you and Linda go first and we'll meet you later. I hope.
Captain. Where's the stretcher for me?
Outside. We'll bring it in just as soon as we get this last chest off.
Don't you believe it? What he's planning to do to you, Hartshorn, shouldn't happen to a dog. Look out! Hold it, Captain. You ought to take it easy, Captain. You'll last longer.
What about him?
Oh, he'll keep for a while. You take that, kid. Looks like a couple of bucks to me.
Give me a hand with this, will you, Colonel?
Sure. Good work, Smith.
Guard him, Colonel. Gerald and I'll get this tub started.
Gee, but I'm glad to see you, Gerald. Are you all right?
Sure, we didn't have much trouble.
Hey, kid, come up here and give me a hand. We got to get out of here.
Sit down. Now, just one move out of you, Vandenberg.
We don't want to start the motor till we get in the channel.
Oh, no, you don't, Vandenberg. Get back there.
Now he's done it. Look, you just keep pulling on that rope, kid.
He tried to get away.
So you shot him?
I had to. Is he dead?
No. I think he'll be all right. You give Gerald a hand and start the motor as soon as we get in the channel. I'll get him inside.
How is he?
About as well as can be expected. How are we doing?
Gerald says we ought to be in the harbor in a couple of hours.
I don't know. It's most irregular. This is a hospital, not a crime detection bureau. You want to help us, don't you, Doc? Not particularly. I dislike being a party to such goings-on. However, the governor insists that I cooperate with you, Mr. Smith. So what am I to do? Start cooperating. And I'll bet you 6-2 even before the night's over, you'll be enjoying every minute of it. That's beside the point. What do you want me to do? Have you got a vacant room on the ground floor? Oh, any number of them. People seem to be getting healthier every year. It's not like the old days. Well, I remember when I first came here, the whole...
Some other time, huh, Doc? Right now, I'd like to take a gander at that room.
Gander? Do you mean look at it, inspect it? Certainly you can. One of the less expensive ones, I presume?
It's not for me, Doc.
Oh, of course, how forgetful of me. Follow me, if you please. How's this one? Bright, cheerful, southern exposure? Just what the doctor ordered. Not the doctor. What you ordered, Mr. Smith. Let me see. I wouldn't move the bed if I were you. The patient will be directly in line with the window. Drafts, you know. Oh, this fellow won't mind a little fresh air. Oh, yes. This extravagant affair has quite confused me.
Well, thanks for everything, Doc.
Don't thank me, young man. I'm only carrying out the governor's orders.
Oh, that reminds me. Call the governor's office, will you, and tell him I'm on my way over?
That's the first ethical request you've made this afternoon.
Oh, is that what it is? Say, have you got your instructions okay?
I'm to phone you at exactly 3:15. I'm to say, Mr. Smith, this is Dr. Praskins at the hospital speaking. Then I'm to say,
Yeah, you got the idea okay, Doc. Well, I'll see you later. Gotta go now.
The operation...
To have to...
My apologies for being late.
We were about to go ahead without you.
Then you have eliminated me from your list of possible suspects?
Mm-mm. You could have stolen the colonel's knife, and you could ship about anything you wanted to off this island since you're in charge of the clearance papers.
May I point out that the same applies to His Excellency the Governor?
That'll do, Eckert. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Well, I was about to say that it's pretty humiliating for a detective to have to call on all the people he suspected to help him make an arrest.
As a police officer, I resent being called a suspect.
You could have killed Gates and Mrs. Gilbert. Don't forget I saw you in Mrs. Gilbert's room a couple of seconds after she was knifed.
I told you I was checking fingerprints.
I haven't forgotten. But maybe we're not going about this in the right way. Maybe we ought to ask the colonel what he knows.
Well, you mean that statement I made the last time we all met in this room?
You said you could tell us the name of the murderer.
Well, perhaps you won't remember, but during our conversation, I walked over to that window. I happened to see Captain Vandenbark outside, and I knew he hadn't been in town for several months. There was only one place he could have been. That was in the swamp.
Then you must have come around to Smith's theory, that there was buried treasure there.
I did, but I knew that Vandenbark couldn't have killed Gates or Mrs. Gilbert.
Very sound reasoning so far. But how can you link that man with any of us?
Well, he means that nobody could have stolen the knife but one of you fellas. Am I right, Colonel?
I thought I could force Vandenbark to tell me who it was. I failed.
Well, I admit I'm pretty good with darts, but I never touched your knife.
Gerald, my boy, I echo your words.
There are some things too absurd to deny.
Hello? Yes, he's here. Just a moment. It's for you, Mr. Smith.
Smith talking. Oh, hello, Doc. How's the patient?
The operation was a success. The patient will be in a fit condition. I can't read the next word. You do have the worst handwriting, Mr. Smith.
Oh, that's fine, Doc. Yeah, I'll tell the governor the good news. Goodbye. Well, it looks like we're getting someplace after all.
Is he conscious?
Now, here's the setup. All of you be at the hospital tonight. Dr. Preston said we could question the patient then. You're right about one thing, Colonel. The man we want is in this room.
Hiya, Gerald.
Well, here we are.
What do we do now?
Dr. Paskins is waiting for you in his office. I'll join you later.
I still think Vandenbach was working alone.
I've done all the speculating I intend to do. This case is closed. Come along, Sam.
You go on in, my dear. I think I'll have a look around first.
But Mr. Smith told us to go straight to the superintendent's office.
Well, I'll only be a few minutes.
You may well consider yourself fortunate, Captain. The bullet entered the body slightly to the left of the thoracic vertebrae. Thence, following the downward course, to the right of the superior vena cava, and passing through the arch of the pericardium, and inducing severe hemorrhage of the left.
Oh, Mr. Smith! Mr. Smith! Oh, Mr. Smith! Oh, Mr. Smith! He went that way! Come on in, boys. I got him. Put the cuffs on her.
I knew the guilty man had to be one of you. Treasure was the motive. That was something that any of you boys might have taken a chance for. Now, most of you acted suspicious at one time or another, but I didn't have anything to go to court with until Vandenbach came into the picture. Then Colonel Lane had to shoot him. I didn't know whether or not he did it on purpose. And the only way I could be sure was to have Vandenbach talk. Well, he did a very nice job of it, didn't he, Dr. Marcel?
You can't hang me for knifing a dead man.
You'll hang all right. But how do you plan to get the stuff off the island?
Did you do as I told you, Doc? Here it is. Don't forget, Dr. Marcel was the coroner. Tell him what you found in the morgue, Doc.
Well, I didn't find Mrs. Gilbert or Mr. Gates.
Dr. Marcel got rid of their bodies in the swamp in order to make shipping space for these and more like them. It was a good plan, only it didn't work.
Nice shot, Gerald.
Tap that if you can, Smith.
If you can beat that, you're good.
I guess you're pretty good.